everyone, I'm Aveline. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So well, first of all, thank you to the EA Creator Network for providing me with game codes throughout the years. Thank you so much. I will say I have not gotten all my Sims 4 game codes from them, but some of them I have. And I feel like I have to say that now. I'm not really sure if I do have to, but gotta be on the safe side, okay? So just bear with me while I figure this out. Anyway, today we are building what I want to call a modern Japanese home for a family. So it has room for 2 parents and was it a kid? I'm gonna have to check my screenshots. Yeah, a kid. So it's a rather big home for such a small family, but I just did what I felt right for the floor plan, and the house itself, like shape-wise, is a little bit funky as well, so it was a little bit difficult to do the floor plan, but I feel like it ended out working quite well at the end. I need to swap this back to my other picture. So overall, we have the essentials, so bathrooms, 2 bathrooms actually, one on the ground floor and one on the second floor, and dining room, kitchen, living room, and there's an office as well, because I know some of you guys have been asking to have more like skill items, skill equipment. What's it called? Skill leveling items in the builds. So I tried to include some of those in this build as well, because they had space for it. There's a lot of like open feel to the bottom floor plan as well. But yeah, you'll see if you like it or not. It was inspired by one of those houses that I mentioned I found in the last voiceover. I have basically found a treasure trove of more modern Japanese homes, and I recalled it just popped up randomly on my Pinterest. Sometimes it's difficult to find houses that are not for sale in the US, or pictures taken in the US, or you know, just pictures from other places than the US on Pinterest, I feel, because you oftentimes have to search for them in, like, you know, another language. And I don't know Japanese, unfortunately for me. So I don't even know what a house is called in Japanese. It just happened to show up though, with Japanese lettering and stuff underneath the picture. It just happened to show up, and I clicked on it so fast, decided to save it so I can keep getting more and more suggestions of Japanese homes. Some of them are very, very interesting, I think, architecture-wise, because you can see that they're newer. They don't look like these traditional homes you can see surrounding this lot, by the way, because we are building in Komorebi today. But there's just like a different vibe to them. So I don't actually know if I wanted to call this contemporary or modern, but I think there was the word modern was used in whatever I read about this house. But I could be wrong. So I'm gonna go with modern though, but like I'm not saying I'm correct, okay? I'm actually and I think I mentioned this in the last voiceover as well, but I got so excited when I found the house, or when it popped up on Pinterest, because I remember like ages ago by now, someone asked if I could build a Japanese house that was a little bit less traditional, a little bit newer, and with like less traditionally Japanese interior as well, because, you know, Japanese houses is more than just the very traditional old ones, and I really wanted to actually build that because I think it's, you know, they got some pretty looking houses there, but I just couldn't find any. I couldn't find any houses. I don't know what to look for either. I could possibly just have Googled modern Japanese homes. I'm not gonna lie, but it's more funny when it's like, you know, authentically Japanese websites. Does that make sense? Am I being a little bit snobby? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm happy to finally be able to actually do something about that suggestion. That was nice. That was cool. So I hope you guys would like this house. The backyard is super small, just want to quickly say. Also, there was something important that I had to note, and I've completely forgotten what it is, and it's bothering me so much. But I really cannot remember what it is. I remember I had to do the voiceover earlier today, but suddenly got caught up in something else I had to fix. And I remember actually sitting here and thinking, oh, you need to mention that. You need to make sure that you mention that. And now I can't remember what it is, and it's gonna bother me so much. So here's to not taking notes ever for voiceovers. Not ever. I don't think I actually even did that back when I was new to voiceovers. Maybe I should start doing it, but at the same time, I don't think I would actually use the notes for anything. I think I would just forget that I have them. It's a problem, isn't it? Probably, yeah. Also, color scheme wise, we're going for a lot of like nice neutrals, a lot of like what I would say a calming kind of color scheme. So nothing too stark with contrasts, nothing too colorful either. Just going for like very calming vibes. So it won't be for everyone, but it's just kind of what I felt like with it with the interior and also the exterior of the house, color scheme wise and structure and everything. But you could definitely just feel free to do with whatever you want with the house. So like if you don't like the interior, change it up if you want to. I do not mind one bit. Like that's the same counts for all my other houses. You can download them, do whatever you want with them. If you want to redecorate the entire place, feel free to do so. I don't mind. But I just wanted to go for this like a little bit more of like a calmer kind of interior, very soft as well. There's something soft looking about it. I can't exactly explain what it is. And also I try to do a lot of like these days I want to do a lot of different kind of accented walls for some reason. So in one room you might see 3 different colored walls, and I often like to add one texture to them. So if you have 2 painted walls, then add like either a wood or a rock or like a stone wall. It's nice. I just like to mix up the textures a little bit. I was struggling so bad with where to place that staircase, as you can probably tell. I didn't actually think I'd included any of the footage of I didn't think I filmed it, but apparently I did. The floor planning, because that staircase bothered me so much. It was the shape of the house that was the problem. I hope it's okay with where it is right now, but it does make the floor planning on the second floor a little bit interesting. I think it turned out fine though. They just have a lot of space up there. Like the parents' bedroom is definitely a lot bigger than my normal kind of bedroom, but I hope you guys don't mind. I don't know. Sometimes you also just gotta, oh, suddenly we have a lot of a lot of flooring. I didn't film that apparently. I don't know. But sometimes you also gotta just like mix it up a little bit, do something different, you know? So without the house looking like very traditionally Japanese, I'm still trying to, you know, mix in a couple of items from Snowy Escape here and there and just adding these like little touches. So I think the overall vibe of the interior is not like super Japanese, but you could definitely still see where some of the items are from, or where the inspiration for the items, where that's from. I think it worked out well, but like I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I can't believe April is almost over. That means a third of the year is gone. How odd. How weird is that? Like, where did time go? I feel like April for me just kind of slipped through my fingers completely. I have not done as much as I've wanted to. I also have not been home for like 10 days of the month and been dealing with computer issues for another, what I feel is 10. So that's like 2/3 of the month gone. It's been a weird month, pace-wise, but also just spend like 2 days trying to reinstall everything on my computer, I feel like, as well. So it's a whole lot. I would like half of the month back so that I could feel like it didn't just completely disappear out of the blue, you know? But hopefully May will be a little bit more, just a little bit more in some way. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense, but it might just be my head. I'm a little bit delirious these days, so I'm fixing my sleep schedule. So I'm a little bit delirious until suddenly I'm not, because the sleep schedule will be fine. If you guys have ever had a completely messed up sleep schedule and then you had to change it so that, like, if say you go to bed late and then got up sort of, not necessarily sort of late. For me, I just slept less, which is dumb. Don't do that. It's just not healthy. Take care of your bodies, okay, friends? But these days I try to go to bed earlier and then, you know, get up earlier. And it definitely, like, there's an adjustment period. So I'm a little bit like slightly delirious. And it's so funny how tiredness hits you earlier in the evening. Like, I'll sit here at 10 and suddenly I'll just be like, I could go lie in bed right now. And that's just not, I have not felt like that, I don't think, ever. Here's to actually fixing sleeping schedules and, you know, getting on sleep medication and all of that. We're doing better in 2024. Time is just slipping through our fingers a little bit. You gotta like slow down. Where's it all going? But yeah, so might be saying some weird things or like struggling with finding words and stuff, but it'll get better. If there's anything you'd like to see from me in May, let me know so I can like make a plan or something. I love making plans, but I also suck at sticking to them, but at least I have good intentions, okay? So I'll make a plan. I won't promise that I'll stick to it, but at least the plan will have been made. I've been toying with the idea of streaming 2 hours like twice a week or something, but I won't promise doing anything with that. I think the last time I started, I ran into some issues, and right now I also have computer issues, so I need to fix that before I can do anything. If I started streaming and my computer blue screened in the middle of that, I would be mortified. So it's not gonna happen like right now if it's going to happen, but I've been toying with the idea. I feel like even if it's not like Sims, just like random games or something, it would be cozy time. So something like that would be kind of fun. But other than that, like, I don't really know. But if there's anything you'd like to see me build in May, let me know. Just feel free to leave some suggestions or wishes in the comments down below. This is actually one of 2 living rooms, I want to say. They have another, this could more be like the living room, and then they have an entertainment room upstairs. You'll see it in a little bit. There's like, they have 2 large TVs in this house. I know it's rather luxurious, but I didn't really feel like I could turn that space into, it was either a game room, but they only have 1 child, so that didn't really fully make sense to me. So it turned into, or a game room or another bedroom, but I would have had to add this like super awkward hallway space, and like a very, very narrow hallway, so floor plan wise, it didn't fully make sense to me. I was not comfortable with it, and so I ended up just turning it into like a sort of entertainment room. You can see it in a little bit, but they definitely, if the parents are fighting or something, or the child just doesn't want to spend time with their parents, they can sit upstairs and watch whatever they want to watch while the parents sit downstairs. Or maybe they could have a lovely family dinner by the table together. You know, it's nice, but this house has options. Okay, there's options here. We could also put one of the Sims in the office skill leveling room, or whatever you want to call it, one in the living room, and then one in the second living room, and nobody would have to look at each other. That also sounds fun. I don't know. It's up to you. There's just options. The options are aplenty with this house. I actually remembered, I think I mentioned this in the last voiceover as well, but I hadn't seen any of the new kit, the build kit items. I hadn't seen them because I couldn't find them in my catalog, and I solved that issue. Do you want to know what it was? I had downloaded it. I downloaded the kit, but for some reason I had not installed it, which I feel like EA App usually does automatically, but for some reason it just didn't this time, and so the items weren't in my game. So no wonder I couldn't find them anywhere. So I still have not seen them, but I also don't, without having seen them, so take this with a grain of salt, I also don't think they would necessarily stand out so much to me because they are party items and I don't usually decorate for that anyway. And so I don't think they'd be items that I would necessarily reach for and therefore not necessarily notice either in the catalog, if that makes sense. So, but that was the thing. Yeah, I actually, I remembered that I hadn't, or I found out that I hadn't downloaded, or I downloaded but not installed. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a whole lot. I don't know why EA App did that, but, or didn't do that, I should say. But that was the thing. If you guys have got the kit and you've used it for anything, let me know. Like, you can explain it to me in a comment or something. Is partying actually stuff that you do in The Sims? Like, do you throw birthday parties for your Sims and stuff? Is it something that you do? Because I remember when I played, it's years ago by now, but when I played, I didn't even throw parties. When I played Sims 3 as well, I never threw parties. I attended them, because I remember that being a thing. Like, you get invited to various parties for your Sims, but you just, I never actually threw them myself. Or maybe did I? I can't remember how parties, all of a sudden I feel like I remembered it, but now I'm second guessing myself in regards to how that works. Could you go to a party at another Sim's house? Or was it me throwing the parties? Man, Suddenly, I'm second guessing myself now. Anyway, but like, let me know. Is that a thing you do with your Sims? Should we make more party rooms? Like, what do you, can we, it's essentially we get to a point where you have to turn all houses into mansions so that you can have, you know, the essentials. You have the dining room, kitchen, the living room, but then you also need a room with a TV so that the TV doesn't annoy the other Sims if they're sitting in the living room. So you need an entertainment room, but you also need a games room, but you also need a skill leveling room, but you also need a party room. We're just gonna have to build mansions all the time. But also people prefer to play with medium-sized houses as far as I've gathered throughout the years, so maybe not. I don't know. I do like the, if this works in The Sims, let me know, but aren't family visits, for example, aren't they a thing? Like, you can pack up stuff and go visit others, or you can invite them. See, this is where I'm trying to like figure out what to do with the space. Anyway, but you can either pack up stuff and then go visit and sleep, have a sleepover at family members, or you can invite some family members over to have a sleepover at you. Isn't that a thing by now? I'm pretty sure that came with growing together, but also again, don't really play the game. So there are certain things that I kind of miss and certain things that I forget because I just build a lot. Let me know. I think that was the thing though. And if it works and you're enjoying it, good for you. But also I would love to know. I personally, these days, I tend to stick to Baldur's Gate when I play. We could talk about that for ages because I am lost in that game. Like, I don't function without it at this point. It's so good. So, I'm sure I'm not the only one here that has been playing Baldur's Gate 3. It's just, it's hilarious. I'm having such a good time with it. So that's where my head is stuck, basically. But yeah. So the entertainment room. This is it. This is the moment we're decorating the entertainment room. I wanted a lot of bookcases in here, added a little bit over in the corner. Kind of also see this as like a good space to play console, but I didn't add one. So feel free to add one though in one of these little bookshelves. I like the idea of having just like a few bookshelves on either sides of the TV and then having stuff that maybe you've gathered, like souvenirs or something from travels, and you can place them there, and it's just like this little cozy room that's mainly for the family. The guests can stay, or if you have guests over, you can stay down in the living room on the first floor. But this is just like mainly for evenings with the family or for watching a little bit of TV before you go to bed or something like that. I don't know. 2 living rooms in one house seems a little bit extra for me. but I'm sure they can find their purpose. I should have added the console. Maybe I don't know, maybe I spaced out while I was decorating it, and or maybe I just didn't think about it, or maybe I'm just like now thinking console is a good idea to have. Don't really know. A console would be a good thing to have in that room though. I could see that. So the parents' bedroom, I can't remember if I think they got a door leading to a terrace. So one of the terraces wasn't actually supposed to have been a terrace, but I last minute added a door. And so there's a little bit of space out there, but I can't remember exactly where I added the door though. I think it might have been in the entertainment room. So everyone's got access to it, but the parents do have their own little terrace space over here. You can see it. I don't think I decorated right away. I think I did that later on, but they end up having a chess table there, which I thought was kind of funny. And then there's a little bit like a plant situation or something like that. So the child's bedroom is pretty simple. It suits the rest of the house, in my opinion. Also color scheme wise, they have the essentials. So bed, wardrobe, there's a drawing table that I never include drawing tables in children's bedrooms. I don't really know why, because it would be I love to draw, and I drew a lot when I was a child. Drew, is that the right way to, anyway. I did that a lot when I was a child as well. Always kind of been drawing a lot. Not like a lot, but like I can draw just fine. I went to drawing school. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like it's actually kind of weird that I don't include it very often, but maybe it's just, it takes up a lot of space. And for me, a drawing table seems very extra. Like I definitely just sat either in my bed or I would like doodle while in school or, you know, something like that. Never really had a dedicated drawing table for it, so maybe that's what it is, but should definitely consider like including them more often. I don't know. I love creative things for children to do whether it's play music, even though it sounds terrible at the start. But so it does for adult Sims or young adults. All the other life stages. It sounds terrible at the start. Actually, this reminds me, I still kind of want a drum kit in The Sims, but also, could you imagine? Could you imagine the first couple of skill points going into that drum kit? Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. Kind of makes you rethink it a little bit, doesn't it? Like, just a little bit. I don't know. Also, that would take up a lot of space. I would do dedicated music rooms though, or garage bands. I feel like that would work very well as well. Speaking of, they do have a car, but I added it later on, and I don't know if I did that after I stopped recording or what I did, but it was one of those things I had in the back of my head. I wanted to add this little driveway. I don't know if I've already done. Oh, you can see it right there. Yeah, they do have their car. It's just kind of hidden away, but I felt like it would fit with the house. Just have this like driveway at the back of the house. They do have to walk all the way to the front of the house, but it's also because they don't have like a dedicated, what's it called? Either garage, but also the other thing. They don't have a dedicated space for that. It's more like they found this little corner at the back of the lot and they thought, well, we can have our car parked there then, because there's not a whole lot of space in any of the lots surrounding this one. So I don't know, it just felt like it fit in some weird way. So that's where it is. You'll probably find that 90% of the time I go off vibes. When I just feel like, yeah, this suits the vibe. There's no real like thought put behind it, or yeah, just no thoughts, just vibes, you know, like we're just going off vibes. And that was I sort of feel like they would be like, the vibe that I'm getting from them is that they would be like, yeah, right here in this little narrow spot, we could have a car parked right here, so we don't need to go find street parking, because that can be so annoying. So they have their own little space. Not the most practical, but it does work. The backyard is very small, but it's very planty, and it does have a little bit of, you know, a little bit of cozy vibes on the terrace with a dining table. There's an easel as well, because we gotta nourish those creative skills that the Sims have. I love creative Sims. And also they have a little bit of a gardening area, which I thought would be kind of cute. I imagine it for like a herb garden, if you will, but you could use it for anything. Slightly inspired by my dad in that way, I think. He has his own little, I don't want to say little, because it actually, him and his wife have so many, they have both a greenhouse, but they also have a herb garden, and they have fruit trees. And I don't know how they grow all of that, because I swear it's like rainy 90% of the year. So I don't know. Magic powers, possibly. Maybe. Actually, I might ask them. Yeah, I might ask them about it. I don't know. They care about that stuff a lot. So it's maybe slightly inspired by my dad in that way. Just kind of wanted to give them a little bit of like a gardening area in the backyard. And so you can use it for whatever you want, though. If you want to change it to a pool as well, feel free to do so. I felt like a pool for this house didn't necessarily fully make sense, also with the surroundings. Not that this house actually suits the surroundings that well, because it is very modern compared to the surrounding buildings. But it was the best place I felt I could place this house or build it, so I kind of went with it. But yeah, feel free to add a pool there if you want to instead. I just felt like personally it didn't really fit in there. So, but I did add a pond. Or it's not a pond, it's a fountain thing. I'm gonna call it a pond though, because look at those cherry blossom leaves. Aren't they cute? We needed to add them. It had to be done. But anyway, other than that, again, you're free to customize this house to your heart's content. Do whatever you want with it. If you like the exterior and you just want to change everything on the inside, feel free to do so. But this is how it ended up looking. So I hope you guys like it. If you do, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, the trailfiles can be found over on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box down below, as well as in the pinned comment, where you can also find a link to my booktube channel. So if you like to read, definitely go check it out. However, that is all I got for you guys today. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!
But I can see that you don't